Hi everybody, what's up? Sorry I've been gone for a couple of days and I know you've missed me, so here I am. So anyways, I want to talk about how I kick myself in the butt once in a while and just shake my head at how I'm not taken advantage of, but how I probably give myself and have a really hard time saying no to, because I'll be the first to admit if I can step in and help someone and make someone's day better, I do that. No, I don't have $1 million, but if someone needs help and I have a buck or two, I'll hand it over because I don't want people to walk out of the grocery store without a gallon of milk. So, anyways, I have the hardest time when I'm carrying my camera gear around and I have a Canon something or other with a nice lens. And once in a while, I'll be taking pictures and someone will say, "Oh, that's a really nice camera." And I always have wanted one like that. And I'll say, "Well, here, why don't you take a look at this one?" And I'll hand over my gear. And all the while inside, I'm kind of sort of freaking out because I think if they drop it, that's money out of my pocket because I said yes. And so, lo and behold, I seem to never learn. So a couple of years ago, I had a regular sit-on kayak. It was an open kayak and with the oars, and I'm paddling, and I tipped that thing in the lake by accident and lost all my camber gear. And so fortunately, I had insurance and replaced, and I sold that one, and I applied the sale of that one towards a Hobie kayak, which is a pedal kayak. You look it up, Hobie. It's really nice. It comes with an oar in case you get stuck. But this is a decent kayak. I bought the last year's model, and so I didn't spend $5,000, but it was a nice, a nice amount of money. And so I was on the lake the other day, and I'm very particular about my gear and all that. And I'm pedaling back and get to the shore, and there's a couple sitting on these lawn chairs, and this lady said, "That looks like a really nice kayak." And I said, "Yeah, I got it last year, and it's pretty cool." And it's just a couple, maybe in their 70s or something. And she said, "Oh, I've always wanted to use something like that, but..." And ding, 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 the angel on my shoulder said, "Let her use it." And out of my mouth comes, "Well, if you want to try it, you're welcome to." And angel and devil, one said, "Let him," and the other one said, "Don't let him." And of course, I listened to the good angel, and here I'm in trouble, with myself. She's like, "Really?" I said, "Oh, sure." And she comes down, and I really just wanted to get home, to be honest. And so I had to help her sit down and readjust the pedals and tighten the foot straps. And I thought, well, just, sit and go in a circle. No, the guy she was with, he's like, "Go to the middle of the lake. Go ahead, just go for a ride." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So the whole time, I'm just panic attack, anxiety, stress. And I said, why did I do this to myself again? And so finally she comes back. And then, of course, I have to get it out of the water and this and that. She was real nice. And she says, "Well, it would be nice, to use it again." And I said, "Well, you could go buy one, at the local boat store. You can go down to the boat show and buy one." And, "Well, my vehicle doesn't hold this. And are you coming back anytime soon?" And so, well, I don't know, maybe Monday. Of course, Monday I was busy, so I didn't go back, but that's my own fault. I said before in a previous video, I have the hardest time saying no to people. And my husband said, "You just got to say no." And I said, "I don't know how." And I don't know what it is inside of me that always wants to make sure I make someone else's day. But I'll tell you what, it is tough because I sit here and I think, I want to do something nice, but it's always at my expense. And when you're like me, you kind of don't expect from other people. If you see something you like and someone else owns a nice bike, you say, "That's a really nice bike," but you would never say, "Hey, can I use it?" It's just not me. I don't ask people to use things that I don't want to replace if it gets broken or whatever. So anyways, I'll tell you, I'm a pushover sometimes, but most of the time it's just my fault because I walk right into that trap. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. How can I solve this problem? I don't know. It's kind of like a thorn in my side, I guess, but just to let you know, you're not the only person that says yes. So anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.